15.
And that's what Andy Murray will be attempting to do all day long. Use that forehand to just batter Nadal. Comes in as he gets about a half-court sitter. First point of the match to the Scot. Terrific point from both opponents. Murray playing retriever, Nadal dictating play. This backhand just strikes inside the line, and Murray not able to offer up much as far as a return shot, and that opens up the door for Nadal to close it out. But still, again, seeing great court coverage from Murray, and Nadal a point away from opening up this semifinal matchup by holding serve. Take a 1-love lead here in the first set.
First game. We last one, Bubba.
Andy Murray, his first Grand Slam semifinal, and he joins fellow Britons Tim Henman and Greg Rosetsky as the only Britons to make the last four here in the Open era.
The near seat for now, Andy Murray to serve.
And now Murray will have the chance to respond to Nadal's opening hold. Just approaching 12:45 on the East Coast here in New York City. Men's semifinals, Nadal versus Murray. Kevin Skinner here along with Luke Jensen. And as we see the early goings here, Luke, both players starting to show that they're willing to warm each other up by moving each other around the court.
I was just out there and introducing the players. We have a lot of former players that do a lot of the announcing. And I got the call to introduce these guys, and it was really kind of eerie in a sense where when they first walked out, there were honestly maybe 300 people out there. The announcement hadn't been made around the grounds officially that this match was taking place, and it was kind of eerie in a sense watching these players walk out to the biggest US Open match of their lives. They've never been this far, and how they're going to have to mentally get over the fact they're not Nash and get down to business.
Down to business is Murray. Point away from holding it, Love. And a solid effort from Andy Murray to start things off from his service game. We're even one game apiece.
You look at what Andy Murray has to do. He's 0-5 lifetime against Rafael Nadal, the latest one in Toronto in straight sets. He's got to do things like this. What does this mean? Mix it up. Keep his opponent, Rafael Nadal, guessing. This is a best-of-5 set match. He's physically up to the challenge. I saw him up just mowing on a huge plate of pasta before he came out, about a half an hour, 45 minutes before. That's not really a recommended meal, but for a guy like this who knows his body, the way he has to preparing for a 5-set long battle. Watch how far back Murray is just to get the serve back in play, mixing things up. This court very intimate compared to Arthur Ashe. You're going to see the crowd much more be a factor as far as moving and flash from top. Whatever the situation, they're really right on top of you.
Talking about Murray having a big plate of pasta, it's not like the old days when he was sort of spindly and very slim and it might have sit heavy in him. He's now really put on a lot of bulk, a lot of muscle, which he can use to metabolize that pasta and give him some energy for what could be a long extended match.
And that's what he's preparing for. I mean, he's not preparing for straight sets. He knows that this guy across the net can go 5. But punish you along the way. And we're both part of a great match they played in Australia where Nadal was pushed all over the court. And that was an example right there in that last point, how Murray, really controls the pace and tempo and takes stuff off of it and changes up speeds and depths and things. And that, if he can get this thing going, can actually get on a roll like that. But in that match, his fitness let him down. And that really killed him in the end. He has fixed that issue, the fitness issue, the strength issue. And if he comes out and gets the first set and starts running away, it'll be interesting how the confidence really lifts for the man from Scotland. Just a beautiful point. He must have played 5 to 6 different types of shots in that rally alone. Nadal is really one-dimensional. He's just going to hit a lot of topspin at times, slice it, and there's his slice. But watch Murray, he holds it, and then at the last second will fire to different areas. That's the tough part. It's very similar, if you remember, Michir from Slovakia, held the ball for a very long time. It's hard to read their shots because they stay sideways so very long. And long, what I'm saying is you're only talking maybe a split second, a half a second. But we rely so much on reading shoulder turn and hip rotation, ball strike and where the ball is being hit, contact point. This is really dangerous for Rafael Nadal because already I get the sense that Murray has full command of the ball. He's not exerting that much energy. He's just kind of redirecting Rafa's pace, and Rafa's muscle, typical grind. It is extremely hot and humid today. We have that storm front coming in, and we're going to see how this plays out. Murray can run all day. He's got good wheels. He's got the fitness once we were talking about. And it's going to be see how Nadal can really use short angles, in my opinion, to work over Murray so far back behind the baseline right now.
And the break of serve for Andy Murray. Takes a 2-1 lead in the opening set of the men's semifinals from New York City.
You don't sit there and play straight back as you're feeding it right back to Murray. Let Murray's then pushing around. Make Murray create angles from outside the court.
Especially behind the players.
Louis Armstrong Stadium, and already an announcement being made by Steve Ulrich in the chair that you mentioned how intimate this court is, that people having to find their seats a lot quicker. You can see just at the top of your screen there, people still milling about, and that is much more of a distraction on this court than it would be inside Arthur Ashe Stadium.
It was the challenge when you played here, but you loved it or you hated it. Oh, that's a great serve, a nice slow cutter, busting out wide. And the fans felt they could almost just be hitting the ball with you. And that's so much fun when you enjoy that type of atmosphere. If you don't, Ivanisevic was a great player who hated playing on that court. See the angle I'm talking about?
Yeah, he went for the short angle.
Yeah.
Pushed it a little wide, but that's what he's going to have to try to employ today.
There isn't a lot of pace on the Murray ground strokes. He can at times juice it, but he's not trying to do that. He wants to mix you up, try to get you to miss by throwing you off, messing up the tempo. There's old Uncle Tony, the uncle of Rafael, but more importantly, the coach right now for the #1 player in the world. And we talked about the serve and volley at the top. Every once in a while, mix it up.
Uncle Tony might go down as one of the great coaches of all time, the way he's produced.
When he goes to the Hall of Fame, will he be, will his image or bust of Uncle Tony be Uncle Tony?
Very well could be. Murray, strong hold. In fact, he still has yet to lose a point on his serve. Consolidates the break and out front, 3-1. Well, www.usopen.org is the site for all things about all the players and all the information of the US Open. You can go there and learn about the draws, the scores from past events, from this event, anything and everything. Maybe even tune in for a little Luke Jensen live at the Open if you get the opportunity. Check it out, usopen.org. Nadal down a break.
Murray's got to be really happy with this start. He really has to be happy considering he's 0-5 against this guy. And I think tactically, again, look where Murray's standing to get the Nadal serve back. Why is that so important tactically? He's trying to neutralize the Nadal serve, and it's pretty much a given. The reason Nadal has gotten the #1 in the world, won a Wimbledon title, a gold medal now on faster surfaces, is because he serves bigger, is more pace, better direction, more consistent. So how do you neutralize that if you're a returner? Stand this far back, let the ball slow down, put the ball back in play. Now, what can Nadal do to counter that move? Well, he's going to have to do a couple of things that he's usually not comfortable with. One is the serve and volley. Because Murray's so far back, it gives Nadal time to get in, maybe sneak in a volley. Every once in a while, it doesn't have to become a serve and volleyer, but has to threaten Murray where Murray just can't pop the ball back and play. He's got to do something with the return. See, already the serve really being disrupted. He's serving 85% first serves in, but he's 6 of 11 when he gets that first serve in. You know, that first serve needs to be more of a factor. You need to be winning, you know, 80% of your first serve points. And that boy goes in. Now he's serving at 73% first serves in after that last double. Tactical, wrong move. Tactical blunder on that, trying to go down the line. Go down the line when you're in position, or if you're have a good foundation with your feet underneath you. This time he's kind of flailing a little bit. He's falling off his back foot, going for too much. Go back cross court, play the percentage shot, wait for another opportunity to go down the line. See, look at the difference in down the line. The one he missed, he was behind the baseline. This time he was set up for the shot. He was inside the baseline and didn't go for a winner. He just placed it deep in that corner. And he's got Rafael Nadal kind of in knots right now. Tangled up in his own game with kind of more question marks than answers. He's going down double break, and this set could be over. Watch where Murray stands now in the return of serve. He may take a crack since he is up a break. Trying to go for a winner. Nope.
Rafa will challenge.
Left side baseline.
That's it.
Ball is called in.
It's a brave challenge because he stops play right there. He better be pretty confident, because if he doesn't,
he faces a break point.
And already down a break, the momentum clearly with the Scot.
And the ball was called in, and Nadal thought it was out, and he would be correct. It did strike the line, but outside of the sideline. So a bold move by Nadal pays off. Nadal holds for the serve. Murray still up a break.
Murray leads 3 games to 2 for set.
Everyone's still saying, what's the point of him playing? But you believe. For 3 years, he's finally gotten through to everybody that he is the real deal. It just shows his mental toughness, his makeup, his character. I don't think it throws this guy off at all. I think what's throwing this guy off is a well-planned Andy Murray and an executing Andy Murray with his change of pace ground strokes.
1 o'clock in New York City on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, that's a good view of that camera angle as the ball comes right in your face.
Kevin Skinner and Luke Jensen here, bringing you men's semifinal action. It's the final weekend of the 2008 US Open. Murray up a break, serving 3-2 from Armstrong Stadium. Here comes Murray to the net. Nadal, no problem with a backhand passing shot.
15 all.
First point lost on the serve of Andy Murray. First lead of any kind against Murray's serve, obviously. early goings here today.
Well, this isn't the only match that's being moved because of the threat from the hurricane. They've moved the juniors indoors out there in Long Island. So imagine you've been dreaming about playing the US Open your whole life. You're in the final stages of a tournament, the semifinals, and they call you up now. We're going to play you out there in Long Island. What? Indoors.
The weather is a big story here as Murray holds to continue his break lead 4-2 here in the first set. Change of the schedule on this day as Tropical Storm Hannah approaches from the south. Gone through the Carolinas, coming up the coast from Virginia, about to strike in Pennsylvania, and again later today here in New York City. It's overcast. It's been unbelievable weather through this 2 weeks up to this point. The only real spot of rain came over a week ago on Friday night during the Andy Roddick Ernest Gulbis match. Just prior to that, just about a 15-20 minute delay, but the rest of the 12 days leading into this day 13 were just brilliant. But today it's overcast and gray.
I like the way Nadal has really stayed the course, trying to figure this guy Murray out. Sometimes you just have to be patient, wait till you get some confidence the way you're striking the ball, location-wise, in the corners, the depth, the angle. Critical test for Nadal here at 2-4, 30 all, and comes through once again. What is really shocking right now is how Murray has been able to just to dig his way into every single Nadal service game and make Nadal really earn these games. Look how far back once again. If you're Nadal, you want to use that slice serve out wide, pull your opponent off. That's his best shot. The backhand down the line or cross court when he is inside the baseline is extremely deadly. This time he gets the ball up in the strike zone and he just accelerates the racket, and it's so deceiving because it looks like he's just hitting another normal ground stroke, but what he does is he uses his left hand, which is on the top of that grip, and he uses it a little bit firmer, with a little bit more intensity to give him that power.
Power indeed. 10th winner through 6 games thus far for Andy Murray. That backhand, the first from that wing. You might be hearing the sounds of planes flying overhead from LaGuardia International Airport, just less than a mile away from the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. Big forehand. He does it from the backhand. He does it from the forehand side.
But it's the patience that gets him there. He hits a ball nice and deep, and he's not looking to hit a winner until it's up, and he goes boom. It's not hit with extreme pace. You see a lot of the Erotic and Gonzo and these guys. He does it with placement. He zips it a little faster than his normal groundy. But this is almost basically a virtual set point. I'm really impressed with the Brit right now. I really believe that Andy Murray has come out soundly with a plan and has executed. This guy is 0-5 in his first semifinal at a slam.
Tremendous wheels. Andy Murray takes a 2-break lead against Rafael Nadal, and he will serve for the first set.
And that's the X factor, the speed of Murray, his ability to scramble and run down shots. Nadal plays the serve and volley. Remember, I'm telling you, he's got to mix things up against Murray, but he's not comfortable doing it, and you could see that he didn't really stick that volley.
By virtue of 2 breaks of serve, Andy Murray serving for a 1-set lead. Terrific shot from Nadal.
30-15.
But we haven't seen enough of this. This time, Murray elects to serve and volley up 30-love. It's a good play. It's a nice mix-up. You have the advantage with the score. And it's been his ability to keep Nadal off balance that it's giving him this lead. Only 34 minutes old is this first set, and Murray's camp, Murray's nation, Murray universe has got to be really happy with this moment right now in his first semifinal of a major.
Set point for the Scot, who has lost 10 consecutive sets to Rafael Nadal.
First set. Murray
back in the win column. First set to Andy Murray, 6-2.
have this shot too. He kind of guided it. When you have that type of opening, you don't want to steer it. And things are going so well right now for Andy Murray. It's almost too good to be true. See, he's not even trying to hit it hard. He's in a position to do it. He had an alley. Go for it. You have the scoring advantage. He was up love 15 there. Take your shot. Go for a home run. Then again, as a competitor, you're Andy Murray. You feel what's going on the other side. You really have a sense of that your opponent isn't timing the ball well, isn't playing that confident. And if you look at Nadal, there's no doubt this is not the #1 player we saw, throughout this year, winning the gold medal, winning Wimbledon, the 4th straight French championship. See the angle? You don't see Andy Murray right now. He's completely off the court. And if you play someone playing that defensive, that's your play.
Second ace of the day for Rafael Nadal. Nadal with a hold. Players will switch ends as this second set has gotten underway, and Nadal leads 1-love. Now Luke Jensen. Let's take a look at that first set and some of the numbers that were compiled by both players.
Well, we talked about the errors, and look at Nadal. 4 winners, 10 errors. It's not a game of winners, everybody. It's good, but it's the errors. Look at Murray, 9 errors. And Murray's going for more shots, 13 winners there. So Nadal, who's all about being consistent, isn't going to hit a lot of winners, but shouldn't be hitting a lot of errors. And we're going to see if this guy, see how he's picking it up? Even now, this is when he needs his positive body language. This is when he needs his positive energy. So many kids get it wrong. They get it the wrong way. They get all fired up when they're winning. Now, that's easy. And they get all upset. We saw Safina yesterday against Serena Williams. What a point. A stab by Murray for that backhand volley. But players, even at this level, don't get it sometimes. It's when you are down that you need the positive vibes.
Quick hands from Murray right here. Good touch. Yeah, body language also betrays you sometimes to your opponent. When you're giving away that negativity, they seize on that, feed on it, and just try to exploit it. Push you further back into those depths of despair.
Well, I always flip it on players. I say, when you see your opponent going crazy, what are you thinking about? Oh, I've got him. Whatever I'm doing is getting to him. As you see, it's a nice return. Just didn't handle that forehand volley. Didn't get down for that one. And then I flip it on him. Well, what do you think they're thinking when you start going nuts with your little bobblehead doll head side to side? Oh, yeah, I get it. That's right.
Just 1 mile per hour short of his fastest of the day at 126 for Murray, his 4th ace.
Deuce. Advantage Murray.
That now the fastest serve of the day for Andy Murray as he notches up ace number 5 at 206 kilometers per hour.
A very smooth motion, really does it with some good timing, wrist snap at the very end to get that little extra push over the cliff. Not known as a big server, goes for more placement to set up the rest of his game.
And the hold. 1-all.
1 game all. Second set.
Once again, men's singles. It's the semifinals from Louis Armstrong Stadium as Nadal, world number 1, facing Andy Murray. And you see in the center of your screen, mother Judy Murray looking on as her son enjoys a 1-set lead over Rafael Nadal. This match has been moved to this Armstrong Stadium court to try to fit in the semifinal today, with some inclement weather marching up the east coast of the United States, threatening this afternoon and evening.
Pro shot way too short, not enough on it.
The usher. The usher. 15 love. Please, ushers behind the players, please be still during your point. Thank you.
No, he's looking up at the guys in the stands. I mean, well, that's what you can see. The guy, they are so close to you, everybody. You can't. They're leaning on you. The fans and the ushers are moving around, and just play ball, man. You're up a set against Nadal in the semifinals of the US Open. Who cares what's going on in the front row, the back row, the nosebleed section?
Luke Jensen, you're always known as part of the, a little bit associated with the rock and roll style of tennis. And
well, I was all for it. I think when this game gets it, like in other sports like basketball, and where, hey, I mean, you got baseball, fans are moving around all the time. And those are contact sports as far as, you know, baseball, you're trying to hit a... a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. If we're going to get people, sports fans, from outside the game, you can't tell a sport fan to be quiet. If the guy wants to do whatever he wants to do, fine. You play.
And the irony, of course, is that in Davis Cup competition,
it's crazy.
People are absolutely nuts. And we mean that in the most positive sense of the word, that they support their countries, get behind their players, and they cheer, you know, through the entirety of the match. Obviously, with the caveat being they must be respectful. And
sure, oh, absolutely. But the think that this guy is, Murray is winning this match. The word be worried about who's moving in the backcourt. To me, reveals his concentration right now at this point, instead of thinking about nothing can bother me right now.
Watch the concentration on this forehand. Look, I mean, he just delivers that power.
As long as he is set up for the ball and he's not moving, knows how he was set up before the ball got there, he hits a good, clean ball. As soon as he's out of position, he's in trouble.
Double break point for Murray. Broke Nadal twice in the first set. Looks to go ahead here in the second. Well, they had 2 break points to work with, so taking a little bit more of a risk there on the return on the second serve. Little vamos from Rafael Nadal, holding off 2 break chances here in the second set.
That's a weird shot, indecision. Remember now, it's Nadal being forced to do things he doesn't feel comfortable with, and that's moving forward off of a play like this just to put more pressure on Murray. Look at this, he just doesn't see this early enough, and then he's stuck with a very difficult shot.
And stuck with the 3rd break point opportunity for Murray.
Murray's challenging the ball, right side, near sideline. Ball is called out.
Second challenge of the match, this one by Andy Murray. Rafa was right on his first challenge of the day. Andy Murray will be wrong.
Real dicey times for Rafael Nadal. Early on, he still hasn't established any type of momentum getting out of these service games with ease. Struggling just to hold.
Advantage Nadal. Nadal leads 2-1, second set. First set, Murray.
Watching Andy Murray serving 1-2 up a set against Rafael Nadal. It is the 40th anniversary of open era tennis, and this 40th anniversary since Arthur Ashe and Virginia Wade won the very first singles titles at the United States Open. A lot of the past champions from this specific tournament have come out during the course of these 2 weeks to witness current players in competition.
The US Open has made this event not only a celebration of where the game is going and where the game is now, but where the game has come from. And just a few short miles from here is the West Side Tennis Club, where the very first US Open took place in '68. And every year it seems like we celebrate our history, having the Chris Everetts, the Billie Jean Kings, and the Rod Lavers here, and John McEnroes and Jimmy Connors. Fans love it. I mean, you see these guys walking around the grounds, you can get autographs and pictures. Just adds to this event.
You can find out more about the history of the US Open by going to www.usopen.org, laying out the 40 years of open air history, as well as when it used to be the US Championships prior to 1968. That's usopen.org.
There's that serve and volley we're talking about. Hit and sneak and come in. He has made the adjustment. Sometimes not as effectively as he would like, but sometimes it's the threat of it that can throw Murray into a different type of tactic, throw him off of his game. He just accelerates their racket back and then cuts it cross court. Instead of getting stuck in a one-dimensional game, he does it again. That is a smart tennis player. It's interesting. I wonder if Uncle Tony from the sideline has kind of given him that directive. You're not allowed to coach from the sideline, but I'm telling you, it is really, it's tough for anyone when you're out there to manage the minefields, to manage the tactical ebbs and flows. And
but we were talking more a little while ago about movement in the crowd and noise and so forth. Coaching not allowed. The women's game has adopted the rule that there is on-court coaching during sit-downs and stuff. But doesn't that seem a little odd that the coaches can sit so close to the court, but they're not allowed to talk? I mean,
they do. I mean,
shouldn't that rule be lifted at some point and just let them do their thing? Big backhand from Murray.
For the quality of play would be better. At what point do you want him on the court? In Davis Cup and Fed Cup play, there's the captain who is on the court at all times. I believe purposes of TV for the fan at home with more access, I'd love to tune in to listen to Rafa and Uncle Tony go at it. Now, of course, it would be in Spanish, and you would have to translate. You're multilingual.
Well,
but
mi español es muy malo, but
and of course Murray speaks Scottish, so that could be tough. All that haggis and be eating on the sideline. But it will give you an insight of what they're trying to do.
Well, what Murray's trying to do is break Rafael Nadal for the third time in this match. Both of those breaks of serve you see there came in the first set. He's had 3 chances now in the second. This is number 4. And as Uncle Tony looks on, Nadal in danger of falling behind here once again in the second set. Not fooled twice is Nadal with the overhead put away. You know, Luke, taking you back to that unbelievable matchup at Wimbledon this year between Nadal and Federer. I think it was late 8-7 in the 5th. As Nadal was serving to try to close out the match, he served and volleyed for the first time in the entire match.
Yeah, but remember now, that's a great point, and I mention this a lot when the question is brought up to me. That's a great backhand. How dark was it at 8-7? And the reason he served and volleyed, the reason he came in behind those ground strokes, from baseline to baseline, you could not see the ball clearly. You had to trail it all the way into the net, and that's exactly, it actually helped Nadal close out that match to be more aggressive.
Murray, break point number 5 of the set.
If I'm Murray, I'd take a rip at this return of serve, but he's not going to. He's too far back behind the baseline right now. He's been successful just throwing it back in play. Absolutely ridiculous on that shot. Try a drop shot against probably the fastest athlete we have in the game of tennis.
Look how high it bounces too. It just, you're giving him extra opportunity.
It just shows you deep down that Murray isn't really confident right now. I mean, it's true. Even though he's winning, even though he has this opportunity, you don't try that shot at that point in the rally. There's no reason to. It's a specialty shot. It's a some of the time shot. And it's not a shot that got him there. Hit the shots that get you points, that have gotten you to this point in the match. You're 0-5 lifetime with this guy. Oh, see, and it's unbelievable how the tide can turn. You have Nadal down a set. You have a break. Nadal has now shown that he's going to serve and volley some because you forced him to. If we highlight that last break point opportunity and that bonehead shot, if this match turns around right now, that was the moment.
60 minutes. Make it 61 minutes into this semifinal. As Nadal serving to move ahead 3-2 and just a point away. Wide serve, and in fact,
Nadal.
it is Nadal who pushes out in front. 3-2. He is down a set. You get a sense the tide might be turning. Now some questionable tactics from Andy Murray. Finds him still on serve second set, but Nadal sensing perhaps a moment of weakness for the Scotsman.
That's a weird play. Once again, how fast things can turn, especially when you're playing a guy who's owned you. Deep down, Nadal feels so confident when it really comes down to crunch time. And then another bonehead play trying to touch shot. Remember, it's the touch shots that have been a problem. For Murray, and the power shots are the one they're scoring points. That's a great example of this is how you're winning. That's why I think it's so good for players to have notes on the court, to stay on point, to stay focused on what is winning, what's not winning.
Continue with the strategy that got you where you are. It got you not only the semifinal, but you took the first set off the man who had captured 12 straight sets against you, including the last 10 4 matches.
Is that a drop shot? No, it's another drive. I mean, once again, when you have a guy down, you have to continue to pound the point. Nail. That is such a good strike, and it's nice to see Murray may hopefully get out of this funk of trying to manipulate and touch his way to victory instead of power his way to victory.
Seventh ace for Murray in the match. Nadal has just registered 2. And make it 8 for Murray. Well, Nadal's not unawares of the threat that Andy Murray has against him. In his press conference following his quarterfinal match, he said about Murray, "I have all the respect for him always. In Wimbledon, the same respect like right now. I know how good Andy is and how good he can play. I know the only way to win is for me to play my best tennis. My goal is to try my best, get my best feeling and my best performance."
At my best.
That is my best. No?
Is it no, it's not at his best, or best no?
Always giving his best is Rafael Nadal, serving 3-all. One of the ways in which the press has embraced Rafael Nadal is how he responds in English to questions during the press conference, and seems to end every question with, "Well, I am a very good player." No?
Okay, but I don't speak Spanish. In the language, do you speak that way?
I'm not sure. I think he's trying to say, "I am playing very good tennis now, don't you agree?" And the no meaning like that is the correct way of saying it. But he'll get it in time. He's already improved his English dramatically.
Oh, the more he's in the arena, there's no doubt. But I like the way he gives respect to his opponent, and he knows how dangerous Andy Murray is. Everybody has noticed the talent with Murray. Time he's starting to really realize it. He's always felt he was a warrior, a fighter, a competitor, but now his game is starting to come together. But we do see glimpses like I got on him about that drop shot, but then he pulls right out of it, and that's the maturity.
Well, and your criticism is bearing validity in the fact that once he went back to the game plan that he employed in the first set, he started to have better success. He hasn't been able to convert on any of his break chances in this set, though, which will probably anger him. But they are available, and that's the key. If you don't have break chances, you're never going to break. So to have a bunch is to his advantage. And that's another way that negativity strikes in the game, isn't it? People look at, oh, 1 for 11, but at least you had 11 break chances.
And Nadal has had to change his game plan. He can't be his typical self right now. He's had to serve and volley a couple times. He's had to really do different things on the tennis court, keep the points shorter. He doesn't want to get into these long rallies, and it's hard to believe that Rafael Nadal isn't trying to get into long rallies, but he's losing those long rallies. So he comes in again. See that? Remember, this is not the comfort zone for Rafael Nadal. It's the play of Andy Murray that's forced him off of that baseline.
40-15.
That's a great example of a player changing up his game plan to his B game plan. I wouldn't, maybe this is like C or D. I mean, he just doesn't come into the net too often.
He's come in 10 times and he's won 8 of those points, so he has been successful 80% of the time. As Murray starts to approach, lose a little bit of focus, nets the backhand, and Nadal continuing, nose out in front, leading 4-3.
And we're going to see exactly where Murray is confidence-wise in crunch time. Can he continue this play? Can he hold his nerve in this point of the match? Yeah, see, try something. But here's the problem I have with that. It's the first point. The first point of the game kind of establishes momentum one way or the other. You're trying like a trick play. If you do it at 15 love, 30-15, you have the scoring advantage. Then you get back the deuce. That's fine. But he hasn't. And that's a great serve. He's been, again, winning points with big ground strokes. Play the important points with that. Really, I mean, don't get into drop shots. Don't get into slices and all these things. Those are, change-ups. Go with your A game. It's working for you. Trying to juice that serve a bit. 127, missed down the center. I like it. See what I mean? I mean, just keep doing this, and that's why coaching would be great for Murray. Down there, just lay out the game plan, point out what's winning, what's not. Listen, he's going to rip on you too. I mean, he's very animated on the sideline. He'll have a go at you, but just because he's extremely competitive. I'm not a big fan of a player getting after a coach because you're all on the same page working together.
10th ace of the match for Murray. Yeah, he used to have a pretty good go at Brad Gilbert. When Gilbert was working with Murray, Murray would turn around and start screaming at Gilbert, and oftentimes he'd be screaming something like, "Give me something. Give me some emotion," which is an odd request from your coach when, well, you're not allowed to say anything to the player on the court. I guess you can say, "Come on," and "Let's go."
That's the nice approach. I remember he missed that approach at that slice in the previous game. And we wanted to see where Andy Murray was emotionally this game. He opened up with a bad point, but then he recovers. And that's why I think we're seeing the makings of a true champion. I think the
transformation of him to become one.
The metamorphosis.
Save your butterfly emails and all those things, folks. We are saying that this man is realizing the potential that people have talked about for a long time. I mean, he's been around for 2-3 years now and was talked of as the next great hope for Great Britain and Great British tennis. He's actualizing and starting to realize it now. His first major semifinal. Nadal to serve from the top of your screen for all.
And why are the ground strokes so effective against a guy who owns the ground stroke department? It's real simple. Nadal can't handle the change of speeds, the change of spins right now, and it's the stronger, more fit Murray that is really dictating and owning that baseline war, that ground stroke war.
Net as it came across Nadal, and it was also spinning downward, and Nadal not able to handle it. See this forehand once again from Murray. That's
another test right now for Murray. And you're thinking, okay, Nadal, but Nadal has done it. You know, he's been down in these scenarios before. The question mark is Murray. Does Murray have what it takes right now to take advantage? He's missed out on a bunch of opportunities so far. You only get so many.
15.
You're talking about from down love 30 to now 30 all.
And it's a confidence thing. Everything is going wrong. You cannot find a tactic that works. So sometimes it just comes down to guts, that you are just got to put it on the line. He goes with this #1 combination: serve out wide in the ad, big forehand inside out. He's basically going down to the root of his game.
And the experience, of course, in being in this situation so many times before, having won 5 majors and runner-up twice at Wimbledon before that. Or in addition to that, it's not pushing the panic button.
Boy, this is move and counter move at its very best. Murray takes an early lead in this game, and then Nadal fights his way back with his A game, and then Murray comes back with his A game. Boy, a huge point in the match right here. You just sense whoever can take this game, take advantage of this moment, is going to have a big advantage moving forward.
First move for Nadal.
Advantage Nadal.
When he senses it, he knows how big this opportunity is.
That game's any indication, we're not anywhere close to being over in this match. Nadal leads 5-4 in the second set. Looking to even things out if he can just get an opportunity against the serve of Murray. We've been talking about Murray's strategy and how he's gone back and forth and back to it again, but he still has not faced a break point in the entirety of this match, serving to keep pace with Nadal in the second set. He got away with one there. Well, I guess he didn't learn his lesson back in the early portions of this set. Goes for the drop shot again.
Well, he got the net cord winner too. He kind of, you know, slid down on that. And I mean, he is this type of player too, but I just don't think you can play those shots at these critical times.
He's feeling pretty confident on his serve, though. He's won 83% of his first serve points and 73% of his second serve. Those are fantastic numbers through almost 2 full sets.
Absolutely fantastic numbers, and how he's backed this, you know, game up here at 4-5. You know, Nadal's going to make a push to win this set and really keep the pressure on the Scot. But he comes out now 40 love, a routine game again. Nadal really hasn't pressured Murray on his serve at all.
Five all.
Murray at his finest, right there, driving the ball down the line, hitting cut shots, and moving forward in the court, big down the line. Then he gets another one. Look at Nadal, he's got to recover again, but can't get the ball over the net. Good serve.
15 all.
That's the play when you're playing someone playing this far deep. Look at that. He's got to stretch outside the doubles alley, and this allows Nadal to hit his second best shot.
Another chance for Andy Murray. Terrific return, sets up his 6th break point of the second set, and also affords him the opportunity to serve for the set if he can move ahead 6-5. Now, just when he needs to call up and summon the strength to avert another break point, Nadal is able.
And he's doing it with inspired net play up here, being aggressive with that volley.
Advantage to Murray.
Now the 6th service game of Nadal here in the second set, and it is the 7th break point for Andy Murray. How many times can the Spaniard hold off the Scot?
Oh, Murray's going to just kick himself right now because there's 2 opportunities here in this game where he's playing defensive. Look who's at the net. Look who ends the point at the net. Nadal here rips this shot in complete control, follows it in, and then has the overhead. But if you're Murray, you have got to at least go for 1 home run. Take a look and go for it. Don't hope Nadal is going to miss. Don't hope that you back into this break. Go for it. Play to win, dude. You just got the ball in your strike zone. Give it a ride. Put your opponent on the defensive. That's how you got here.
Nadal.
See the aggressive shot there, deep, flat, force the air. There was nothing he could do on that. He was going the other way, looking to recover and cover the other side of the court and got wrong-footed. See how he had to stab at that ball, couldn't control the slice forehand.
Ace number 4 gives Rafael Nadal 6-5 lead in the second.
Nadal leads 6 games to 5. Second set. First set, Murray.
Andy Murray seeking a second set tiebreak
Seats quickly. Thank you.
against the #1 player in the world, Rafael Nadal. Murray has been very impressive today. His service game has been on fire. Continuing to serve in the upper numbers, 85% first serve points won, 67 this set, but 73% for the match. Of his 27 service points in this match, Andy Murray has only had to go to a second serve 6 times.
But the pressure builds for both players. Nadal almost in an urgent state to get back on even footing here to try to get to a set apiece. Murray, on the other hand, has to prove that he's worthy of being called a Grand Slam champion. And these are the steps that you take. In this semifinal, you're up a set. Do you have mentally what it takes, that inner confidence? A bad error right there, but a good look at the composure of Murray. That's a great serve. 5-6, 15-30. Because the complexion of this match is going to change either way here. It could go one massive way for Murray. He takes a 2 sets to love lead. Remember, this guy has lost 5 straight against Nadal. There's that change up. That was nice. He's gotten burned on it a couple times. That's a gutsy move right there, 30-all.
The first real lead for Nadal in the service game against Murray today at 15-30. He had a couple of love 15s, but just a point away from his first break chance, and instead Murray flips it around and has the hold. We go to a second set tiebreak. And at risk for the world number one. He's played unbelievably in 2008, 75-8 record. But you got to think psychologically to fall behind 2-0 to a resurgent Andy Murray, who's really elevated the level of his play the last few weeks, last few months. He does not want to give Murray the upper hand. Serving to start off the tiebreak will be Nadal. First one to 7, win by 2 points in this tiebreak. And the significant mini break gives Murray the lead after the first serve by Nadal. Now Murray will serve twice and players will alternate. For Murray in 2008, he's 17-9 in tiebreaks. His opponent, Nadal, 23-8. Nadal with the mini break back. Psychologically, Luke Jensen, is there any difference to the strategy going from your regular match play into a tiebreak?
The one thing is you have to address what has been going on, what's been working, what hasn't been working, and then you implement that game plan right here and now. There is a sense of urgency playing a tiebreaker, and I was just thinking about this. With Murray, what has worked? The returns, the serving has been fantastic. And I think as long as he stays away from the bonehead shot, the weird drop shot or some type of trying to get cute on the court, don't flinch. What's been working is powerful ground strokes, opening up the ability to go down the line and press. The person who ends up going forward is going to win this tiebreaker.
Fastest serve of the match for Murray is his 13th ace, gives him a 2-1 lead. Nadal to serve twice.
Just watch how these points develop, and the player that's closer to the net is going to be the one that wins the point, wins the tiebreaker, in my opinion. Nadal just doesn't do anything with this volley. He gets cute. We talked about Murray getting cute. Nadal gets stuck in this body situation where he's stuck with a forehand volley, doesn't get out of the way. Again, this is not the strength of his game. He's forced up there. He wants to move forward, but the approach isn't good enough, and Murray is fast enough.
3 of the first 4 points of this tiebreak have gone to the returner. Only Murray has held serve once thus far, and Murray enjoying the 3-1 lead. Momentum even more key in the tiebreak situation as each point counts towards the total. And the mini break's so important for Murray now. Just trying to edge out in front and maintain that lead.
That's a tight shot.
First double fault of the match for Andy Murray. At the inopportune time to even things. 3 points apiece here in this second set tiebreak.
Now, it doesn't kill him now. It doesn't kill him because he was up a mini break. But it does show the nerve.
Little tight.
He's a little tight because he knows how critical this tiebreaker can be for his success in this match. It gives him a lot of breathing room here.
Murray still to serve once more as the players exchange ends. And the crowd sensing the urgency. They want to see this one drawn out. You will see a lot of support for the world number one. I'd like nothing more than to see this turn into a long, drawn-out affair. Remember, this match was moved from Arthur Ashe Stadium to Armstrong Stadium Court due to impending weather this afternoon. Flat forehand from Murray gives him a 4-3 lead, but that gave the opportunity for a lot of these fans who are here who had grounds passes to come in and get up close right onto the court here and enjoy this match. They'd love to see it go, as well as some people who have come over from Ashe to fill in here at Armstrong.
Well, there was a couple just having lunch in the stadium. They didn't know there was a match going to be played. Hey, this is awesome. Front row.
Nadal serving 3-4. Second set tiebreak spot in the US Open final at stake for both players.
Most pivotal point right now in the match. Most pivotal point for both players. If Murray gets this mini break, it's going to give him a ton of confidence to try to serve this thing out. Now the pressure on Murray now to come up with a big combination of shots, big serve, big ground strokes. He's been really good with his tactics, sometimes sneaking in on a serve and volley play. Yeah, he knows exactly how close he was. Look at this. Oh.
Just catching the top of the tape, and the spin does not help Rafael Nadal in that case. 5-all. And Murray moves ahead 6-5.
6-5.
Pressure once again.
Now, this is a spot Rafael Nadal is not used to in 2008. Set point for Andy Murray as Nadal will now serve. Trying to stave off a 2-0 deficit.
Well, if you're Murray, you got to take your shot. You've got to definitely sit there and look for an opportunity to be aggressive. Put the pressure on Nadal. Nadal's going to go for a swinging wide serve and a big forehand. That's his number one go-to combination.
It's wide. Andy Murray takes a 2-0 lead against world number one, Rafael Nadal.
Murray leads 2-0.
Ready for play. Thank you.
Andy Murray in the enviable position of being 2 sets up on Rafael Nadal, and will start the third set at the service line.
And it's the powerful combination, the ground strokes, the serving really picked up for Murray in the second set. That 4-5 opportunity in the tiebreaker was just unbelievable. 2 big serves, one a kick second that forced Rafa to miss off a neck cord.
Murray's employed this strategy throughout the match. There was a brief dip in the second set around game 3 or 4 when he started to implement a few ill-advised drop shots, but he's really come out with a game plan today, and he's stuck to it, and it's worked well.
I like the way he came out of those mental lapses. I like the way, even though he played those shots, it didn't destroy him. And it's those points that have hurt him in the past. And Nadal, there's no way Nadal is going to win just by putting the ball in the court. He's going to have to do something aggressive. He's going to have to start serving better, keeping the airs down, but still that riding that fine line because he can't push the ball. Yeah, see, if he pushes the ball, Murray's going to crush it.
No challenge from Murray, and this is the first time in the match all day long that Rafael Nadal has had a break chance against Murray's serve. Murray 2 for 9 on the day. Nadal with break point number 1 to open the third set. It just takes 1 point for Rafael Nadal to break the serve of Andy Murray. And he does so and takes a 1-love lead here in the third set. 1 point, of course, being relative. Luke, you know he has to win 4 points against the serve of Murray to actually make the break. In doing so, we look back at the second set and some of the numbers. We saw those 7 break chances for Murray go by the wayside, but they didn't hurt him, because he ends up winning in the tiebreak anyway. 25 winners to 18 unforced errors versus 14 and 11 for Nadal. Again, Murray, by statistical standards, really pressing. He's the one who's being more aggressive.
And that's typically going to be the case. But what's alarming to me is Nadal with those errors. And he's getting pushed around throughout the rallies. And a couple times he had some looks and never took advantage. His volleys let him down. A couple of times he didn't stick those volleys. Now we're going to see what he can do with a break early on in this third. What does Nadal do with it? And really, what does Murray do about it? That's what I want to see. I mean, that's as good as a winner. That ball, that second serve, just nothing on it. Only 85 miles an hour, short in middle of the box. That's like so easy for a pro just to tattoo it.
Well, we're certain not that we wouldn't be enjoying the spectator support for world #1 Rafael Nadal. Fans love the Spaniard, his style of play, and the champion he has become. Falling behind 2-0, you know they want this to go the distance. Challenge coming from Murray. Third challenge of the match. Nadal has been right on his singular effort. Murray was incorrect. Let's see if Murray turns things around and goes 50-50. He does not. Point to Nadal. $30-all. Correction, that point was ruled out and goes for Murray 30-all, but then Nadal turns things around. It's a nice little effort, forcing Murray with the backhand in the net and a point away from a 2-love lead to consolidate his break. Nadal with the hold, leads 2-love in the third set.
Nadal leads 2-0, third set. Please close the gate.
It just shows you how mentally tough Rafael Nadal is. He just goes down 2-0. He's the #1 seed. He's the man in 2008, winning the gold, winning Wimbledon, the 4 straight French championships, all these different titles. And he comes back the very first game in the third. And he comes back, breaks, and he just grabs the momentum. He waits for one little dip. You just have to flinch a little bit. You have to come down with your focus and intensity a little bit, and he's got you. The kid just never stops. He's just a machine.
Well, Luke, you know people are listening and they're wondering, all right, Rafael Nadal's down 2-0. Does he really have a chance at coming back against Murray? Well, he's 10-3 lifetime in 5-set matches, and 3 of those 10 wins have been down 2-0.
Well, you know who's having fun listening is Roger Federer. Roger Federer's in the AC, is getting a little rub down, maybe a little press conference. And hey, go at it, guys.
Guys, wear each other out.
They have a lot of fun. I mean, it is so hot and humid. I have never seen Roger Federer have to change his shirt during a match because, you know, he just plays with so much, you know, he's so fluid and not much effort. The way he hits the ball doesn't muscle it. He was changing his shirt down there against Djokovic, and it's hot out there, everybody. It's smoking, the humidity.
Rafael Nadal serving 2-1 up a break in the third set. I mentioned he's 10-3 lifetime in 5-set matches. He's going to hope that he can get to a 5th set here today as he is down 2-0 to Andy Murray. In his career, Rafael Nadal has come back from 2 sets down 3 times to win. The first in 2005 at the Masters Series in Madrid in the final against Ivan Lubicic. It was his 11th career title and helped him finish out 2005 as the #2 ranked player in the year. Now his other 2 comebacks when down 2-0 have come at the same Grand Slam tournament. No, not Roland Garros. He's never played a 5-setter there, nor here at the US Open, but at Wimbledon. In back-to-back years en route to the final, where he was runner-up twice to Roger Federer. In 2006, in the second round, to Robbie Kendrick came back after winning a 3rd set tiebreak to win in 5 sets. And it did so again in the round of 16 in 2007 against Mikhail Yuzny.
Remember now, Nadal hasn't won a set yet. So, you know, we're getting into these, you know, what ifs and things like that. Awesome to talk about. I love the way Nadal continues to sit there and play a very high brand of intense tennis, not letting up at all, taking advantage of a Murray slip in the opening game. But Murray, there's no doubt Murray's going to have to earn this victory. He's got a really nice head start. I mean, he's earned that part, but can he finish it? But these are the times, these are the matches, these are the moments. All the weightlifting that Murray has done, all the sacrifice with the fitness, the running, the extra practice hours, the serving, the extra 7 to 10 pounds of muscle he has put on for this moment right here. We talked about at the beginning of this match how I saw him in the Players Lounge eating a big plate of pasta, and that means he's going to have to use that extra energy, that fuel, to knock out the #1 player in the world, the big kahuna right now, Rafael Nadal.
Nadal pushes ahead 3-1. So we've talked about Murray quite a bit. Murray out in front, enjoying the momentum. Let's put Luke Jensen in the seat of Uncle Tony. If you had the chance to confer with Rafael Nadal, what would you be telling him at this juncture in the match?
We're going to look at the situation first, and then go to usopen.org, and you're going to see a lot of the stats that we see updated, errors, winners, aces, double faults, serving speeds. The situation is we are down 2 sets to love. We haven't played our best tennis yet. But on the positive, we are up a break. We have gotten our teeth now into this set, and we're not thinking about winning the match right now. We're thinking about winning this set. We've got to break, continue to serve better. I think we can serve harder at times. I'd like to see better consistency with the lines, especially the 3/4 slice serve. I want to see more forehands. I haven't seen enough forehands here. And finally, Rafa, you know this guy's never beaten you. He's your pigeon. Hang in there, keep fighting and scrapping, and know that this guy will flinch. There's self-doubt because he's never gotten through that finish line against you, and he's not going to do it today.
Yeah, the 6th meeting between these two. They went to 5 sets in their very first meeting in Australia of 2007. After that, well, winning those last 2 sets there, he went on a 12-set run, Nadal did. 12 sets in a row against Murray before it ended today.
Oh, yeah, and if I'm Uncle Tony, I say vamos.
Vamos, Rafa, vamos. He's got a nice little chance here at love 30.
And Murray, if he loses this game, has got to start, he'll start thinking about Australia 2007. He'll start thinking about opportunities that have gone by the wayside. And yes, he's still up 2 sets to love, but if he loses this serve here, down 4-1, he's probably going to lose his 3rd set. Wow. It's one of those escape shots, drop shot cross court. Probably the last option on the playbook here. He gets it and Rafa can't handle it. But if he goes down 2 breaks here, he's got to start thinking, how do I get this momentum back? Because he's lost the momentum right now. Clearly it's right with Nadal at this moment.
16th ace of the day for Andy Murray, fighting out of the love 30 hole. Now a point away from closing the gap to 3-2. And make it 17 aces on the day. Andy Murray trying to keep pace, but he is down a break of serve in the third set while leading 2-0. The number 4 seed taken out in the third round by Kei Nishikori opened the door for Murray, who has certainly worked himself into the party and established himself a nice foothold. As a few sprinkles out on the court has caused Steve Ulrich to come out of his chair. And take a look at those slippery lines. Luke, you could talk a little bit more about that. The paint creates a little bit of a slippery sense on the court.
That is the one.
Very dangerous, especially the painted lines.
Got the line on the opening point.
That's the shot that he has improved so much this year. His backhand, he's able to flatten it out much more, and he's using his slice backhand a lot more as well, Nadal. So he's always trying to improve all shots in his repertoire, much more so than somebody like Roger Federer, who has everything.
Good serve from Nadal. Quickly to 30 love here in this game.
30 love.
Wide. So quickly to 40 love here for Nadal to get to 4-2 in the third set. The winner will meet Roger Federer, who ousted Novak Djokovic yesterday, and of course the men's final would have been played today, but it's now been postponed to 5 o'clock Eastern time, US time tomorrow here in New York. The women will play tonight, Serena Williams and the number 2 seed Jelena Jankovic of Serbia.
That's a great start for Nadal. It looks like he's hitting the ball a little bit harder than what a little bit of the match I saw yesterday. Of course, also a very smart player, so he would have figured out what he wasn't doing well yesterday.
Miss on that backhand, little rolling spin he puts on it.
30
and
love.
diving into the net. 30 love for Murray.
Two badly played points by Nadal. First a big miss on the forehand side, and that backhand looked shaky.
Oh, that was excellent. Murray very confidently struck, jumped right on that ball, got it on the rise.
40 love.
I think that is the shot that's going to decide if Murray is ever going to be #1 in the world. He needs to add some power to the forehand, just like that.
Quickly to 40 love for him. Serve and volley effective. Well done. 4 games to 3. Still down a break here in the third, but up 2 sets to love.
Murray leads 2 sets to love.
So Rafael Nadal up 4 games to 3 in the third, but down 2 sets. Each player has held their opening serve here today. Continuation of the match yesterday, suspended by heavy rains in New York. Nadal sneaks in there to knock off a volley.
Beautifully played by Nadal. And that's what he started to do this year more and more, is come in after his shots, because he gets so many easy shots back when he starts moving people around with his big forehand. And he's got great hands at the net. Basically, we're watching the 2 smartest players in the men's tour.
That lefty serve pulling Murray out wide. He had a long way to run to get to the next ball. 30 love. Well, Murray, good effort there. Couldn't quite get that in the middle of the strings. The second overhead. 40 love, Nadal.
It's pretty clear that the crowd wants this match to go on, and they're definitely rooting for Rafael Nadal here.
Yeah, I think there's probably 2 things at work. He's become a crowd favorite in New York. And they've seen him here before, and they've watched him obviously in the other big matches, and he's a crowd pleaser. Murray, I think, is less well known to the New York audience. He hasn't been on this big stage until this year. And yes, they want 5-set matches.
That's for sure. I think the tennis fans have gotten used to the Nadal-Federer matches, and they've been so great to Wimbledon finals. So I think everybody just wants to see them play over and over and over again, and they will never tire of those matches. I will never tire of those matches either, I have to say.
Good hold from Nadal to 5-3. Now, Nadal has not been down 2 sets to love in this tournament. In the opening round, he was tested a little bit by a qualifier, Bjorn Howe. There were 2 tie-break sets, but he still won it in 3. And then he beat a qualifier in 3, who only gave him a few problems when he was already up 2 sets. Troicki, a 3-setter there against a tough opponent. Sam Querrey took a set from him, but he wasn't behind in the match. He was behind to Marty Fish, having dropped the first set to the American Marty Fish and then winning the next 3. So this is a different circumstance for him here, down 2 against a much better player than anybody in that list I just read.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big advantage for Nadal, because continuing yesterday being down 2 sets to love is big difference in coming back today, and you have fresh legs, and basically you've forgotten about the match you played yesterday. This is a new match completely.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Murray, in many ways, not from my amateur tennis point of view, is the most creative player on the tour.
Absolutely. He's got great hands to back it up with, but he's very willing to try different shots. We haven't seen any drop shots yet, but they will come, I'm sure.
And then throws in an ace, and 5-4.
Nadal leads 5
So Nadal will come back to serve and try to get a set on the board. Tim Ryan with Mats Wilander, and we're watching Nadal now serving for the 3rd set. He's down 2 sets to love. He started this Continuation today, up 3-2 with a break that came in the opening game of this third set yesterday before rain stopped play. You can see the shadows now are about halfway across the court. This is a little difficult for both players. He's got sun on him serving. Murray's now in the shade. A perfect serve down the tee would put Murray into the sun. Got the line. Good get. Murray knew when he hit it that was going to be wide. 15 love.
Right, Nadal is definitely moving Murray around much more today and hitting the ball a little deeper than he did yesterday. So Murray has to be a little bit confused here. He was controlling most points yesterday, Murray. That's a great backhand of Murray. One of the better backhands in the game because he can take it early, flatten it out. And of course, you always have the fear that he might drop shots. So you don't want to look foolish either. So you don't want to be too far behind the baseline when he does hit that backhand. And he needs to punish Nadal's second serve because that's the easiest shot that he's going to see the whole rally.
15 all. Nice angle. Oh, and he misses trying to make the drop shot there. He rarely misses, I must say. I mean, a lot of other players that I'd be first to say, why would he try that? He's too deep, etc. But he's got maybe the best, certainly one of the best drop shots from anywhere. Absolutely. That was a tough drop shot and a bit surprising because it came off of Nadal's slice. And then you have to turn the rotation of the ball the other way because obviously a drop shot you have to hit with slice spin. So it's an easier shot if it's a topspin shot coming at you. That's long. 30 all. So Murray hanging in this service game of Nadal's. He's trying to close out this set.
30 all.
He's one of the best defenders in the game, Andy Murray. We know that Rafael Nadal is maybe the best defender. Andy Murray looks a little bit winded here, maybe.
And speaking of wind, we can see now it rippling through the shirts of the players. So the wind, which has been a factor the last 2 or 3 days, gets down into this big deep bowl that is Arthur Ashe Stadium and can swirl around and cause problems. Well, that's a fine shot from Nadal. Penetrating deep forehand shot.
40.
You have to
that point.
We have to give Nadal the edge if he does pull out this set. I have to say, the way that it's going so far.
Well done by Murray. And that's long. That was well done by Murray. That was a bold move he made. And it rushed Nadal's pass. He gets to deuce.
Yeah, absolutely. A great little slice back and he throws in there, Murray. And he really is a clever player, but obviously to be clever you need to have great hands. And he does.
That's way out. And a break point here for Andy Murray.
It looked like Nadal was a bit rushed in that rally. Strange mistake. You know, people talk about Nadal needs to improve his serve all the time, but because he doesn't have a great serve, he gets players into long rallies, and that actually tires his opponents out more. So I don't know if he would be a better player with a better serve.
That's an interesting perspective. And he has improved it dramatically from the time people first started talking about it. Of course, he was only 17. This guy's got a great game, but not much of a serve. Well, okay, he was a kid.
Outside center service line. Ball is called in.
Murray's going to challenge that ace.
That's 120 miles per hour serve. That's a big serve.
Right on the line. Another set point, second for Nadal.
Deuce.
Not a set point, pardon me, back to deuce. Murray had the break point, so it's deuce.
Great point by Nadal, but Andy Murray being a little bit too defensive in this rally. Once Nadal starts dictating with that big forehand, then you're out of luck.
That's for sure. Anything short, he's going to pounce on it like a leopard on an impala. Second set point. Got the line and has the set. 6-4. The Spaniard puts himself back in the thick of it here in this semifinal match. 6-4 in the third. All right, Nadal's back in it. Andy Murray up 2-1, and we begin the fourth. Beautiful pass from Nadal. Love 15.
He definitely got momentum on his side, and it's so important for Andy Murray to stay close in this set and not go down a break, because Nadal is tasting victory already.
Andy Murray at love 15 on a beautiful pass from Nadal on the opening point. Second serve. First game of the fourth, and a long forehand from Murray. Love 30. Little look from Nadal already.
Yep.
Andy Murray now at love 30 and comes up with a big serve.
15-30.
It'll be so important how his demeanor is going to be here, Andy Murray, because Rafael Nadal watches how his opponent acts, or how into it they are, or if they're shaking, if they're getting nervous. And Andy Murray in the past has had some mental problems when he's played his matches.
Yeah, he can kind of mope around, but he's been terrific at this US Open. And that's well done to get back to 30 all. For his part, we talked about the path for Nadal. Murray's had to come from behind in a 5-set match against Jürgen Melzer over on the grandstand court, which is the toughest court to play on of the 3 show courts. Fans are very close. The lighting's different. It's a much smaller surface area. And he was also in a tough match in round 2 against Michael Lodra, the Frenchman double specialist, who can be very difficult as a singles player because he serves in volleys. And Nadal hit that up into the seats. So good effort here. 3 straight points by Murray.
Yes. Not a good looking second serve by Andy Murray in the middle of the box. You cannot give Nadal 3 points like that. That's a huge serve. 124 out wide. I mentioned that before. That's about 134 if it was down the middle, because the radar gun sits in the middle of the court.
Seconds.
Again, the shaky second serve by Murray.
No, got away with that.
It's another strange miss by Nadal. Not a very big second serve.
No, it's kind of right in the center of the box too. Nadal looks like he's going for a racket change. May have broken the string, I assume, or didn't like the tension in that one. Yeah, it's hard to tell there. Yeah, well, it's being taken off, so.
He always does that, Nadal. When he breaks a string in the racket, he always asks for it to be restrung. You would think that he has another 10 exactly the same rackets in his bag.
But I assume he does. Maybe he just likes the feel of that one. Racket number 1. That's long. Well done by Murray, digging out of that hole to hold here. Opening game of the 4th.
Well, that's the great shot to have a two-handed backhand against Nadal's forehand. That's again what Federer doesn't have. He's not able to flatten his backhand out at all. And Nadal does have problems against the styles of Murray that can take that backhand early and drill it into Nadal's forehand. Because of Nadal's long swing, then he gets a lot of miss hits, and he's so used to running over to his backhand side, hitting his forehand. He's not used to people hitting to his forehand.
Now Nadal, who had the break in the 3rd set, coming back here today after the suspended match yesterday because of the rains. But Murray, I'm sure, had to be telling himself, hey, I beat this guy 2 sets in a row. I'm leading this match 2-love. I mean, there's so much as mental here as to what you bring out on the court today. We always assume that because Nadal has shown how mentally tough he is, that, you know, okay, I'm up a break here in the 3rd. I got everything under control. So this is a good start by Andy Murray, in my judgment, to get that hold here in the opening game of the 4th. Good shot.
And that's that shot again. And basically Andy Murray is keeping the ball in play to get to that shot.
And then made his decision to go for it.
It's just a great backhand, and he generates so much racket head speed without doing anything different with his swing, so it's hard to tell when he's going to unleash.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Mats. It is hard to tell. Again, certainly for, you know, average folks like us who, you know, you don't know that he's actually prepared to put that extra mustard on it. And we saw it there.
Bad luck by Nadal, but again, it's a good slice by Murray. He really has improved that backhand slice. Not too many two-handed backhand players have a good slice. Nadal is one that has, and Murray is the other.
excellent from Nadal. It's the kind of play Murray likes to make as well. This time it's against him.
What a gutsy little drop shot by Nadal, being down love 30.
And behind the line when he hit it.
15.
It's always risky to hit a drop shot, especially against somebody with hands and the foot speed like Andy Murray, but the surprise tactics worked that time.
15-30. Murray still with a little look here.
Well, players hate that when they decide to serve and volley and the serve hits the top of the net and they have to do it again because you're kind of giving away your tactics.
Yeah, so more likely he'll stay back, do you think?
I would think.
Yeah. And he does. Oh, badly struck by Nadal. Break points for Murray. Second game of the fourth.
He's obviously a little bit panicked when the ball's in play, Nadal, because usually doesn't make any mistakes like that. That was a horrible shot by his standards.
Good serve. Well done, Nadal. Wrong footing him. One saved.
30-40.
It's amazing how often the best players in the world come up with a good serve at the right moment.
Another break point save. That's 9 times in this match that he's had to save break point. Murray's 2 for 11 now.
I was just going to say before that the relaxing thing about playing against Nadal is that you don't have to. When you get to a break point, you usually can get the ball back in play because his serve is not that big.
Well played, very patiently by Murray there.
Yeah, absolutely. The first volley by Nadal was a little bit difficult. This one where he sneaks in behind and he didn't do anything with this volley, put it down the middle. And now Murray is in the driver's seat. He holds on to his backhand so long, you have to make a move. It's very hard to read where he's going with his backhand.
3 break points in this game. The shadows are now across the court entirely, so virtually no sun issues now. Miss on his favorite shot. Surrenders another break point.
Going to be kicking himself for that one. That was a good chance to go hard cross court to Nadal's forehand. Bit of hesitation by Murray.
2 of 12 on breakers now. Murray's cannot squander those opportunities. It's unusual to have that many. We're just early in the fourth set. Second serve at deuce. Wide. What a shot from Murray.
Incredible how he can generate that much power with such a short backswing on his backhand, Murray. Again, the big forehand setting it up.
4th break point in this game.
be a good time for Murray to step in and take this second serve early and do something with a return.
Didn't do much. Deuce again.
It's a good second serve in the middle of the box. Jammed Murray a little bit, but that one he should just get back in play. Easier said than done, of course, when you're facing Nadal.
4 break points saved Nadal with the help of Murray on that one at least.
Great point by Murray that time. It's really going after Nadal's forehand with his backhand, Murray. And Nadal doesn't know where Murray's putting his shot, so tough situation for Nadal.
5th break point. You would think the odds are favoring Nadal to get one of these here. I mean, Murray to get one of these. He's 2 of 13 so far in the match. Oh, clever play. Wow, that was a great get by Murray, but Nadal read it perfectly.
What an unbelievably gutsy play by Nadal, but that's what he's starting to do lately. It's using that serve and volley surprise tactics. And obviously so full of confidence that he does it on a break point.
Deuce again. How often can he get out of these holes? Murray moves about 5 feet forward for the second serve. He's way back on the first serves and right into the court to strike it. Oh, that's great.
Oh, what an unbelievable shot. Again, Nadal trying to sneak in, but of course Murray has such great hands.
6th break point of this game.
That's an unbelievable, not get, but he's threading the needle that time. Yeah, you make an interesting point because Murray, when you watch him return, he moves so far forwards. Even on the first serve, look where he is now. He's so far behind the baseline.
Yeah, at least 10 feet behind the line. He'll come forward here, but the difference between first and second is enormous. See, now he's up about 2 feet.
He takes that big step forwards, just like a goalkeeper in soccer when they're trying to save a penalty shot.
Now in second serve, he's just behind the line, and in he comes. Oh, a little loose with that.
Definitely nerves playing a big part here in Murray's game.
6 break points saved. Murray 2 of 15 breakers in the match now. You can see that was a Scottish word he was using there for missing that one.
He likes to use them.
Yeah, he had him backed up there way too far. I mean, you have to wonder here about Nadal. It's great that he keeps saving these break points, but he's unable to close the deal here and get out of this thing. How many times can he keep this up? This is break point number 7.
Yeah, absolutely, and Nadal just dropping the balls a bit too short at the moment. Of course, Murray is creating that situation by that first big forehand. Again, very difficult to read, even his forehand side, because he suddenly accelerates through the shot.
Came down the middle first time out of all of them.
Such mental strength to come up with those big serves, especially when it's not your favorite shot.
7 break points saved. This is number 8. It's back to deuce and 2 of 15 now for Murray in the match. And finally, a game point for Nadal.
And this could be a huge turning point in this match, because it really felt like Murray was on, a little bit on the roll here. Very often, though, you don't hold serve once you get the game point.
Well, he surrenders the game point with a missed forehand. Deuce again. Titanic struggle to hold a serve.
Another game point. Really, his service helped him out here, saved him in this game, Nadal.
Oh, what a shot.
Unbelievable. It's that backhand cross-court again. Of course, Nadal is such a percentage player that Murray knows he's going to go for the slice serve. But how do you do that against Nadal, who is so quick around the court?
Well, if you don't hit it exactly where he did, he's hitting it back. I mean, it was like the perfect shot, the perfect speed. Deuce again.
Ooh, that was very
close. A little help there. Murray telling Nadal it was long. Nadal does not challenge.
Advantage to Nadal.
This is unbelievable.
Third game point after these last 3 deuces here. He's had to fight off breakers. Now he's just trying to find a way to get a game point. Second serve, how aggressive will Murray be? He hasn't been overly aggressive on second serves. Content to get it into play and take his chances. Same thing. Oh, and that was a weak backhand there. And finally, Nadal gets a hold to 1-1 here in the 4th.
Yeah, Nadal is doing a great job with his second serve. His second serve is not quick, has a lot of spin, but he's hitting it in the middle of the box and jamming Andy Murray every time.
7 break points in that game. But nonetheless, Andy Murray still up 2-1. That's his advantage at the moment. Now we're a game apiece in the 4th.
See how mentally strong or mature Andy Murray is here, because this is going to be a tough game for him to hold after 7 break points.
Well, you got to have a mental eraser, don't you? That game didn't happen. No. 30.
He's run out of patience here, Murray, a little bit. He has to be very careful, because Nadal is such a momentum player. He plays the scoreboard. Of course, he knows what the score is, but momentum is what he's looking for.
think you hit it right on the head. I've seen 3 loose plays from him in a row here, at least 3 points. 3 break points for Nadal. Chance to go up 2-1 in the 4th. He's down 2 sets to 1.
Nadal showing his character here. It's a great comeback from that last game.
At love, Murray definitely rattled by that previous game. 7 break points he squandered, and now a 2-1 lead for Nadal on the 4th. The last game took 15 minutes to play. 7 break point opportunities missed by Murray. After 8 deuces and 3 shots at trying to get the game, Nadal finally did so.
No, this is a situation where even if Andy Murray doesn't break back in this set, just the way that he handles himself is so important to show Rafael Nadal. And it's wide. Good challenge by Murray.
And the double fault as a result. So it was really a good challenge.
And sometimes players will actually use the challenge system as a little bit of a tactics to break the rhythm of the server.
.15. Well, a little opportunity again for Murray.
We see it.
He regathered himself after a bad service game.
See the wind has picked up because that ball just stopped in the air. So Nadal having to reach for it.
Backhand letting him down.
Yeah, they can't make mistakes like that against Nadal. Just seems a little bit tentative, Murray. He knows what his game plan is, but doesn't always take a crack at that backhand. Does not want to get involved in long rallies with Rafael Nadal, that's for sure.
15-30, still look here. Well, that was a good serve.
See the wind take that shot. That was nearly in to begin with. Eventually floated out, but a good 6 feet.
That's an ace. So from love 30, 3 straight points. Game point for 3-1.
Really, his serve has saved him here in this 4th set. Coming up with great serves.
Forehand miss in a 3-1 lead.
Very impatient Andy Murray at the moment. Of course, you want to keep the points short, but you have to choose the right shot to hit. He hasn't done a very good job with this in the last 5 minutes.
Nadal has gone for a new racket again and sent the ball boy off with that one, so we assume he broke a string on the last game, last point. So 1-3 Andy Murray still up 2-1. In some trouble here in this set.
Love 15.
It's a smart play to come in to the net after the serve, but it was a tough volley. A bit casual there, Andy Murray. It's a big return that set that point up for Nadal.
Huge.
Oh, this has to be very frustrating for Andy Murray right now.
Serve and volley might have got just enough of a distracting movement. Nadal sent that one long, 15-30. Nadal still with a little look here. Well, didn't get all of that one, and he's looking as though maybe that was wind affected.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was a strange bounce, or if it was windy. Sometimes you get, I think that's a bad bounce.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to get a bad bounce down there unless it's right on the paint. 30 all.
Sometimes the ball skids through a little bit more on certain places. Depends on how they painted the color on.
So Murray has to dig out from a love 30 here.
Nadal is challenging the call. Left side, far sideline. Ball is called out.
It was close, but Murray was right on top of it. I'm going to assume that that was wide. Here's the official review.
Eyesight is still good, Tim.
40-30. Nadal with 2 challenges remaining.
And Murray with a game point. He needs this big time. That ought to do it. And it does. 3 games to 2.
So important.
Now a break.
Nadal leads 3 games to 2.
Up 2-1, but down a break in the 4th. Rafael Nadal showing that well-known confidence despite being down 2-1. Came into this day down 2-0. Finished off the 3rd set. He had a break when he returned to the courts today after yesterday's rain suspension and went on to hold a 6-4, and he's waiting for that aircraft.
There it goes again there, Andy Murray. A bit tentative, doesn't want to hit this backhand as hard as he needs to. Pulls out of the shot too quickly.
Well, that's his money shot, so if he gets tentative on that, he's giving away a lot of his game. 15 love, Nadal.
Starting to get a little bit irritated here, Andy Murray. Talking back up to his coaching staff.
30 love. That's a good shot from Murray there. 30-15.
Ah, beautiful backhand down the line. Mixing it up, obviously enough, where Nadal doesn't know where he's going.
Nope. Nadal got to the ball, couldn't make the shot, but that was well played by Murray.
Yeah, absolutely. This is stuff that hopefully Roger Federer is watching it, because he's doing a lot of things, Andy Murray, that Federer needs to do to have a chance to beat Rafael Nadal again. Not a very good serve, 105 miles. The return he has to make, Andy Murray.
Forehand from Nadal, the deuce.
Yeah, well done by Murray to stay in that rally. Yeah, it looks like he puts in no effort at all when he hits the ball, Murray, compared to Rafael Nadal, who puts in 100% effort every time. Many different ways to hit a tennis ball. This is a huge point right now.
Misses the volley, the forehand. He ran right through that one. And a break point for Murray.
Just didn't look like he had decided what to do with it. It comes in. It's a smart play by Nadal, but I think he was thinking, should I put it hard, or because he very rarely misses drop volleys. He's got great hands at the net, Nadal.
Well, Murray had 7 break points at 1-all. See what he does with this opportunity. Good serve right at him. And it's long. He's got the break. Andy Murray made an excellent return of a very good serve. And he's even at 3.
A little bit surprising here that Nadal, first of all, at 3-1, played a horrible game when Murray was serving, because that would have been a good time to really focus and go up 4-1 double break. And suddenly, a couple of loose points here. Maybe nerves. Because of course, even Rafael Nadal does get nervous, and it's a matter of how you handle him.
Good serve and a big forehand. He went for that. Respecting the speed of Nadal. 15 love.
Really impossible to pick a winner right now, I have to say.
Well, that's what this crowd loves. They want to see 5. That's their first goal. And after that, I think that they'll tend to support the underdog when it's a neutral case. They love Nadal, but I would think that if it goes 5, that Murray's going to get a lot of support. He is the underdog. Well, a good serving effort here. He took a little steam out of Nadal with that break. Any love?
Nadal not happy with his performance here in the last 5 minutes. Very unlike Nadal, actually.
Oh, what a great shot.
Unbelievable shot.
There's his mom. She loves that. 4-3 Andy Murray. He's 2 games away from the final.
4th set and 2 sets to 1.
Came in with a breakup in the 3rd set. Won that 6 games to 4. And now Murray leads. Nadal serving at 3-4. Well, He tried that long slice, and I think Nadal handles those better than anybody. I guess is it that big topspin swing of his getting underneath him?
Absolutely, and his footwork is so excellent. He always gets ready for them and puts all his power into it, but that slice didn't work. It was a bit too short.
So you'd still recommend he use it, but just make sure he's deep with it, huh?
Definitely have to be deep with it and somehow try and thread the needle and get it to the Nadal backhand.
He's on the forehand. He just seems to, like he eats it up. He can't wait to hit it. 15 love. And he went for a big forehand there on that return, which
30 love.
probably not the worst thing to do. He's tended to be a little defensive on the second serves. Or passive probably would be a better word. So Nadal quickly to 30 love.
So good to see that first backhand. He drilled down the corner and then he comes up with a little slice. And, not many players do that these days. The regular, proper approach shot and then come into the net. They're so afraid of guys.
I can
passing
picture
shots.
you doing that in your time because you weren't like a serve and volley player, but you'd take those opportunities and come in, and the backhand looked a lot like that, pretty slick.
Thank you.
That's true. Oh, beautiful. A lot of confidence in this game from Andy Murray.
Yeah, taking the ball a little bit earlier here.
30 all.
Really going for his shots. It's a beautiful backhand. His backhand is really solid when he hits it.
30 all. He got Nadal's attention for sure here. See where he decides to go with the serve.
Missed one of those forehands off of the slice. Very surprising.
Looked like Murray was trying to get to the backhand, but he couldn't quite get far enough over because Nadal kept moving to his right so he could keep hitting the forehand. Well, he missed the one that mattered. Break point Murray to go 5-3 and serve for the match.
Yeah, it's excellent effort by Murray in this set. After not breaking in that game, we had 7 break point chances and still to be in the set, but to actually be ahead.
Just missed. Just trying to make a defensive shot there, but he gets a little long with it.
Of course, he's so afraid of a Nadal forehand, like you mentioned, Tim. And the main reason why it gets so much power of it is because the ball is, of course, is rotating the same way that Nadal is going to put spin on it, and he puts already so much topspin on his forehand that suddenly the ball is rotating in the right direction already, and he gets twice as much spin on his forehand.
Forehand miss and a game point Nadal.
Murray decides to go for it rather than keep the ball in play. You'll never know if that's the right decision or not, of course.
Well, Nadal got out of one break point situation, and we're all even at 4. Break apiece in this 4th set. Nadal broke to 2-1. Andy Murray broke back to 3-all. Held for 4-3, and now Nadal with that service hold. As this set all even at 4.
Really important for Nadal to break here because he's had problems serving from this side.
Oh, beautiful. Gorgeous running down the line forehand.
Well, you're going to have to live with this sometimes when you play as aggressively as Murray does sometimes. What a great shot.
Club 15. That's long. And Nadal just couldn't wait to hit that second serve back. And he was a little impatient.
That's not a good error by Nadal because he's playing with the wind, and he really just needs to put that forehand somewhere 3-4 feet inside the baseline to be able to start dictating the rally.
Good serve.
128 miles per hour. He's definitely added some power. He's obviously physically stronger than he has been.
Oh, no question about it. Certainly from a year ago. Big difference. He's done all the things that have been asked of him, and he certainly has silenced a lot of the skeptics about how good he could be. Oh, excellent.
Just such great hands up at the net, Andy Murray. His textbook forehand volley. He got a bit unlucky here, actually, Murray. He clipped the top of the net, but this volley is just perfect. He's ready for the next one as well.
Game point for 5-4. Big serve. Confident play by Murray in that game. You know, there's a ton of tension here. He didn't wilt at all.
2-1.
So let's see what the Spaniard's got here. This is as deep as he's ever been into a US Open. Waiting in the championship final round is Roger Federer, but he's got to somehow get by Andy Murray here, and that means holding serve right now. In or out? Good.
That helps.
Wow. Wow, and as we've commented so often, that net is not forgiving. Usually that ball's coming back at you on these tight nets at the Open.
I was trying to squeeze out, but
Club 15. It's long. Good serve from Nadal.
a bit surprised that Murray doesn't pick that up, that Nadal very often goes for the slice serve when he's down. That is his safe serve. His second serve is not good enough where he wants to hit a second serve on a crucial point.
Tony, his uncle and coach, trying to look calm. Nice try, Tony. Just missed.
A well-played point by Murray, and very unlucky that ball is not in.
30-15.
Murray got lucky again. But great foot speed to get up to it that quickly.
I was going to say, you know, he is very quick. He has great anticipation. We all know how fast Nadal is, and I'd still give him the edge in that. But look at the reaction. Good long strides in a hurry. And then you got to make the shot when you arrive. 30 all. Andy Murray 2 points from the championship final on Nadal's service. It's all on the Spaniard here. Good serve, pulled him over. Didn't have a lot of heat on it, made it even harder.
Yeah, he put so much side spin on his serve, Nadal. It's a tough serve to return, but again, he goes for that slice serve when it's a big point.
Game point for 5 all.
Brilliant play by Andy Murray.
Absolutely fantastic point. So thoughtful, so well constructed.
I think Nadal was hoping to do more with that forehand. That's his favorite shot. But Andy Murray staying very calm in these rallies now.
Deuce again. Shot from the blimp of this huge crowd. Arthur Ashe Stadium not totally sold out again from the suspended play yesterday. All the same ticket holders, so not all of them back. Good turn. Unbelievably wonderful tennis, both players, but Andy Murray, wow, he's got a well-deserved match point.
Oh, and then we see Rafael Nadal breathing hard. It doesn't happen very often, but what a beautiful point by Andy Murray. I love how he rolls that forehand high over the net in the middle of a rally, and then he takes his backhand early. Of course, so calm at the net.
This crowd totally into it. They want more. They love Nadal. I tell you what, they're going away with a whole new appreciation for Andy Murray.
Just great tennis to watch.
Unbelievable, those last 2 points. There it is, Andy Murray will go to the championship against Roger Federer. His first shot at a Grand Slam final. An immediate respect and congratulations from Nadal. Andy Murray, take him a little while to absorb what he's just achieved. There's Mom Judy. The 21-year-old Brit. Don't call me English, I'm a Scot. 6-4 in the 4th set. 3 sets to 1.